As single mamas, many of us struggle with a people pleaser shadow. After a long divorce or a long breakup, we actually do crave validation. We want to feel chosen. How many of you wanted to feel chosen? Drop it in the comments. But as a therapist, I got to be real with you. Your desire to be loved cannot outrun your duty to be a gatekeeper. When you're in a new relationship energy phase, your brain is flooded with dopamine. It's a literal chemical high. In this state, you're prone to wearing those rose-colored glasses or red flag blindness, ignoring those red flags. You might see him lose his temper with a waiter and think, oh, he's just stressed. You might see him ignore his own kids from a previous marriage and think he'll be different with mine. But as your therapist, as a counselor, I'm asking you to look at the data, not the dopamine, y'all. If he is inconsistent with his own life, with his own finances, or his existing relationships, he will bring that chaos into your kids' living room. You aren't just looking for a nice guy. You're looking for a stable foundation. Because if you build a house on sand, it's your children who will be left out in the cold when it collapses. Think about that. When you a single mama, you don't have the luxury of dating just for chemistry. You a gatekeeper. You are literally the CEO of an ecosystem that includes little people who have already been through the trauma of a divorce or a breakup or an absent parent. Hey, I'm Cole, and as a therapist, I see the wreckage of what happens when we let a man into our home because he made us feel good, without checking to see if he's actually good for our kids. So today, we're going to talk about the stepdad audit. We're going beyond the he's nice to them phase and really getting into the clinical red flags you can't afford to ignore, y'all. One of the biggest red flags I see in my office isn't overt abuse, it's ego competition. This is when a man who subtly competes with your kids for your time, your attention, or your affection. If he gets moody when you have to cancel a date because your child is sick, or if he makes a snide comment about how spoiled your kids are before he's even earned a place in their lives, pay attention to that, y'all. That isn't protectiveness over the relationship. It's actually a sign that he lacks the emotional maturity to be a secondary caregiver. He doesn't want to join your family. He wants to be the new center of it. Think about that. So in my last video, we talked about the Little Prince. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it somewhere up here. Check it out. But in my last video, the man who expects to be served, that's what the Little Prince is. There's a second version of this you need to watch out for, and that's the mommy seeker. This is the man who sees you doing it all, the cooking, the cleaning, the career, the parenting. And instead of thinking, how can I support her? He thinks, I want some of that. He looking for a soft place to land because he hasn't built a life of his own. Watch for this. Does he start moving his things in subtly, leaving a little drawers here, a little toothbrush here? Does he ask you for favors that feel like chores? If you find yourself mothering a grown man within 3 months of dating, you got a mommy seeker on your hands. And the danger here is that he will eventually see your kids as roommates who are taking up his resources and look at them as threats. Be careful, y'all. So, Cole, what does a safe man actually look like in practice? Here are 3 clinical indicators for you to think about. Number 1, emotional regulation. How does he handle the word no? You said yes to his number and yes to you dating him. Yes, you can be together, but you gotta wait for me. If y'all don't know that song, then I don't know what to tell you. But if you tell him, I can't talk tonight, my daughter needs me, does he respond with, I understand, give him my best? Or does he go silent? A safe man respects your hierarchy, y'all. Number 2, the slow burn mentality. A safe man is comfortable with a slow pace. He ain't trying to play house on week 4. He respects that your kids' hearts are fragile. If he's rushing the stepdad title, he's usually chasing a fantasy, not a reality. And the last and final one to look for is self-sufficiency. He has his own life, his own hobbies, and his own emotional support. He isn't coming to you to fix him or complete him. He's a whole person already looking for a whole woman. Does that make sense? Okay, so now let's jump into that first meeting protocol. When you finally reach that 6 month mark, or I don't know what it might be for you, but 6 months seems safe, and you decide it's time for a meeting, I want you to use this low stakes strategy. No formal dinners, no hey kids, this is my new boo announcements, right? Try a group setting, a barbecue with friends, or a trip to a busy park. Why? Because you need to see how he interacts with them when the spotlight isn't on him. Does he talk to them or down to them? Does he try too hard to buy their love with toys? That's, believe it or not, a sign of insecurity. Or does he just exist alongside them comfortably? Your kid's nervous system are the best lie detectors. If they seem unusually anxious or off after meeting him, don't dismiss it as them being difficult. Listen to what they little bodies are trying to tell you. Vetting a partner isn't about being picky, it's about being purposeful. You fought too hard for your peace during that breakup or that divorce to let someone come in and disrupt it now. Again, I'm Cole, and I'm so glad you were here with me on this return journey. Please, please, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's build community so we can have a real dialogue. If you're ready to lead your family with clarity and clinical insight, I'll see you on the next one, y'all. Peace.